Through majestic forests, alpine valleys and crystal-clear lakes, following the trails of wild animals, in search of rare birds, in places where no man had set a foot before. Precious, magnificent nature, in all its diversity and grandeur, in the documentary series Kazakhstan's Wildlife Sanctuaries. It's the beginning of the golden autumn in Kokshetau National Nature Park. The weather is warm and serene. Birch trees are still covered in leaves. Mountain ash berries are getting their deep shade of final ripeness. Landscapes of the national park are very diverse. Steppe gradually turns into forest steppe, fir grove covered low hills and granite rocks. There are many lakes, streams and rivers. Forests stretch for many kilometers. Forests cover about 70% of the park. There are 6 lakes, but 3 of them are especially attractive from the recreational point of view. These are Lakes Shalkar, Zerendy and Imantau. The territory of Kokshetau National Park lies within Akmola and northern Kazakhstan regions. The park consists of 5 branches. Zerendy division is located around Lake Zerendy resort area. The total area of Zerendy district is over 36,000 hectares. Originally, Zerendy forestry was formed in 1898. An administrative building was built in Krasny Kordon village the same year. This architectural monument of the 19th century has survived to our days. Today it houses an office of Zerendy branch as well as Nature Museum of the park. Displays of the museum will introduce you to wild inhabitants of Kokshetau forests and steppes. Exhibits include red-listed birds like Eastern Imperial Eagle, Demoiselle Crane, Little Bustard and Common Crane. They also demonstrate children's art dedicated to nature protection. Employees of the branch are working towards increasing awareness of local communities about environmental issues. Every year we hold the March of Parks. During this event we educate children and adults about safety in the forest, what can and can't be done in the wild. We provide children and students with ecological education. The name Zerendy comes from Mongolian word ziren. In the past, the area was inhabited by zirens, a subspecies of saiga antelope. These animals can still be found in Mongolia. The main site of the region is Lake Zerendy. The coastline is about 22 kilometers long. The lake is 8.5 meters deep, but according to Fathometer, it is much deeper in some spots, reaching 22 meters. The lake is known for sport fishing. We have different kinds of fish: common carp, crucian carp, perch, tench and common roach. Some fish, like whitefish and vandas, is grown near the lake on reproduction site. Fry is introduced here every autumn and spring. The lake shores are perfect for beach holidays. Continuous sandy beaches are spread from the west to the east. This is what makes the lake so popular with tourists. There are several recreation centers, sanatoriums and children's health camps on its shores. In 2017, we opened 2 new recreation centers, built more than 20 houses for tourists, accommodating around 60-70 people at a time. We are planning to develop tourism. Every year, 30,000 tourists visit Kokshetau National Park. Most of them come to the shore of the Lake Zerendy. The area has curative coniferous forests, crystal clean springs, quaint stones, air filled with the fragrance of tree resins. There are 5 tourist routes developed in Zerendy branch. Tracks lead to the hill from which a visitor might enjoy a beautiful view in a radius of 25 kilometers. You can observe forests and fields. The routes mainly lead along coniferous forests, birch forests, as well as springs and streams, glades, rocks, stone sediments of various shapes. The most prevalent tree in local forests is pine. The coniferous massif, with interspersing of birch and aspen, resembles the outlines of the Siberian and Altai mountainous lands. It's amazing that such ancient ecosystem was preserved in the north of Kazakhstan. There is something intriguing in seeing pine trees huddling in the crevices of granite blocks. This tree is known for its longevity and vitality.
Сосна – это порода пионер.
Pine is a pioneer species. Several thousand seeds would fall on this spot before a single pine sprouts. Only one seed out of many will take root. Later comes in intraspecific competition, resulting in stronger seeds taking roots and continue growing. Only 3 or 4 pines on this spot will survive to mature age. The weak ones will perish.
3-4 штуки сосны. Остальные вот это вот слабые, они погибнут. Вот они уже сейчас идет процесс отпада.
Green Cape Peninsula is a picturesque location in Zerendy. There is a legend that in the 18th century it was an island in the middle of the lake. Long time ago, 2 lovers crossed the lake to get to the island. They fled from their relatives who were against their union. Young people decided to stay together and died on this island. Nowadays, many couples come to Green Cape drawn by this love story. It requires a special permit to be able to visit the peninsula. This area is under protection. It's a specially protected area. We restricted visits to a certain amount, and as a result, we are witnessing natural recovery of the forest. You can see young trees growing nicely around here. The territory of Ormandy-Bulak branch adjoins the southwestern border of Zerendy. It was formed around Dubrava forestry, which specialized in reproductive material collection and storage. The main activity of the division is environmental protection, primarily protection of lands and fauna. About 300 mammal and more than 200 bird species inhabit the territory of Kokshetau National Park. According to the latest animal registry data, there are about 180 elks, around 170 merles, approximately 70 heads of Askanian deer, more than 2,500 Siberian raw deer, and about 250 wild boars. This is the result of tremendous work done by the national park of performing a complex of biotechnical and protective measures. Diversity of landscapes of Kokshetau National Park resulted in amazing variety of feathered inhabitants. Ornithologists register species belonging to both forest and forest steppe ecosystems as well as to wetlands. Particular attention is given to protection of red-listed species. There are 9 such species in the national park. These are white-tailed eagle, mute swan, whooper swan, osprey and others. Lately, another endangered bird, little bastard, was noticed in the park. I believe it happened because we have many abundant fields. Little bastard likes wilderness, and abundant fields are perfect for expanding its habitat. Suddenly a sika deer crosses our way, a hind with her fawns. Amazingly, the wild inhabitants of the forest are not afraid of man. In 2004, 12 spotted deers were brought here from Altai. An aviary with an area of 100 hectares to accommodate them was built in the park. The acclimatization was successful, and today the total amount of spotted deer in the park is 68. Thus, Orman dy Bulak became a reproductive center of ungulates in the national park. At the moment, employees of the park are busy conducting biotechnical activities. They are preparing forage, hay and mixed fodder to provide additional nutrition for ungulates during severe winter months. Just now we saw spotted deer. They might come to the feeding ground any moment. They are perfectly comfortable here. Even more so, they seem to recognize me. Another function of Kokshetau National Park is protection of historical and archaeological objects. The territory has 185 historical and cultural monuments. The area of Kokshetau has a long history of settlements. It's a place of emerging and vanishing of ancient civilization centers. The national park protects monuments of culture and history. They are tourist sites. Therefore, there are tourist routes. You may see several balbals found in this area. We put them up to protect them from destruction. Young people, students, are interested in coming here and learning about them.
Күштердің әсерінен сақтау мақсатында айнала қоршалды.
In 2010, archaeologists studied the Orman dy Bulak burial mound. These mounds belong to Bronze and Early Iron Ages. The monument was left by Alakul tribes who inhabited central Kazakhstan more than 4,000 years ago. Kokshetau is a land of legends. Each hill has its own story. We are approaching Zhilantau Hill. According to one of the legends, it was a den of snakes. Snakes were guarding gold hidden in the bowels of the earth. It might have been the truth. However, there is another legend associated with this place.
Жыланды тауында ертеде бұл жерде самсаған көптеген ағаштар өскен.
One of the legends says that trees growing at the foot of the Snake Mountain were so tall that they were reaching the skies. Ravines were stretching from the Snake Mountain to Black Mountains. Those ravines were filled with myriad of snakes. They guarded a giant stone that was blocking the passage into the depths of the earth. If that stone moved, the water would flood the earth. That is the legend. Another legendary place in Kokshetau is located on Kaukaragai Hill. It's a dragon cave. The legend says that long time ago a huge dragon lived here. He devoured everything living in the forest. People were horrified. They were sacrificing their cattle so that the dragon wouldn't kill them. This went on until Keiki Batur and his warriors came to fight the monster. They locked the dragon in its lair with a huge stone. Since then, nobody ever looked into this cave. 10 years ago, researchers, speleologists demonstrated their interest in this cave. In 2007, Zhenis Temirhanov, professor of Kokshetau University, was excavating this cave. They opened up the cave and cleared the debris. He confirmed assumptions that this cave has large reserves of groundwater.
Результаты были удивительны, так как в данной пещере есть, оказывается, огромные запасы подземных вод.
The day comes to an end, but our journey continues. There are many more amazing, inspiring places in Kokshetau National Park, which we'll tell you about next time.